Whatever the adventure, there's a BMW engineered to take it on. The X3 delivers a striking design with agile performance. The 100% electric i4 packed with pure electric energy. Or the plug-in hybrid X5, an impressive versatile SUV granting full control on every journey. Choose what powers your next adventure during the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Hurry in for exceptional offers through January 2nd. Visit bmwusa.com for details.
Welcome to the Real Chat Podcast,
where we talk business, lifestyle, and mindset.
For the modern entrepreneur.
I'm Baxter Colburn.
I'm Allison Elise.
I'm Mandi Wilkie. Let's chat. All right, welcome back. We are in season 3 of the Real Chat Podcast, and we have another guest here with us today. Actually, a husband and wife team, so 2 guests.
Is this our first tandem?
I think so.
I think it is.
Positive. We've never had a duo.
So husband and wife, 2 businesses.
Yes.
Crafted Tulip.
Yep.
Is owned by wife only.
Yes.
And then Holden's Paint.
Yep.
Painting.
Yes, painting.
Painting is both of you collabing.
Yep.
So work together, live together, play together, do life together.
Yes.
Yes.
So we had you on because all the things. We had you on because we wanted you to talk a little bit about it. So feel free to introduce yourself, talk a little bit about your own business. You've been in art forever.
Yes.
And I guess we usually say how we met. And I think I'm the only one that knew you.
So you're the only
before.
pre-existing relationship.
just met you.
So actually, I thought I
I'm
knew
a fan.
you for...
That's all I can say. I'm a fan of what you do.
She's a fan. I thought I knew Liza for about a year before I actually knew her. And then I found out I knew her identical twin sister.
Yes.
So
We're actually fraternal, but
No, you're not.
Yes. Everyone.
I don't
everyone
believe
thinks
that. I think the doctors were wrong.
They wrote it
exactly
wrong.
the same.
Actually, somebody said that we should go and get looked at because they think, like, back in the day, that happened a lot.
You should.
I'm like,
I will tell you
okay.
this. I think when you guys are together, I can definitely tell, but also because I think I know you a little bit. So your personalities. And then I know if I see you with 2 boys, that it's you. And your sister has a different dynamic.
Yes,
so tell us a little bit about your art background. You've always been in art. I know you've done a lot of the studio stuff for Celebration Dance.
Yep.
Which, by the way, they're now dancing here.
I know.
Side note.
I
This is
saw
their
that.
new location. So tell us a little bit about your art background and then how you guys started the husband and wife painting business as well.
Okay, so I'm Liza Holden, and I've obviously always loved art. I've been a creative since I was really small. So, like, I mean, anything. Like, me and my sisters would be in the backyard taking pictures, like all the stuff. But I was in, like, I was in art club, everything. So, I was actually really interested more in, like, metalwork and ceramics. So never painting,
cool.
which is, like, kind of, like, not my thing.
More abstract then?
No, I actually, like, really loved, I have, like, potting, like a potting wheel and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then, like, creating sculptures and then, like, jewelry making. So actually my plan was to go to art school. And then I was also an athlete. So I actually got a scholarship to Madison. So it wasn't really
So your art stuff
your
took
sport?
a back burner?
Yes, I was a pole vaulter.
Oh,
so
wow.
I was actually the first woman state pole vaulting champ
Wow.
in Wisconsin.
And that's why we have this podcast.
Great.
Find out all
gotta
the-
track star
Yeah.
life.
That's a
And what
big
did you do,
deal.
Adam?
That's so
I'm just
cool.
kidding.
Yeah.
I played football.
You play football.
Yeah, okay.
Perfect.
Yeah,
That's
so
so cool.
I actually got a scholarship to go to Madison, and then so I like they didn't really have what I wanted for art, but I like did a fine arts minor, and then also was doing textile and apparel design. But I actually didn't finish college, so I got injured, and I was getting distracted. So then I went home and was transferring to the Art Institute, and I met Adam.
You're welcome.
There's always
It all
a
works
reason,
out.
right?
Isn't that funny?
What we think is like our worst nightmare is,
Yes.
you know, your dream come
Blessing,
true.
right?
A blessing in disguise. Yeah, for sure.
So then, like, I came home, met Adam. We built a life. Pretty much, like, from there on, like, we've been together for like 17 years, almost 18.
18 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's
and then
Amazing, yeah.
yeah. So then my painting started because, like, I actually went into corporate doing like I don't know, like I worked at Schneider, so I was like in everything AR from CS work to like all that stuff. So,
But it wasn't really your passion.
no, so
Okay.
like complete opposite
Would you
from
like
being
come
a
home and like paint on the weekends and the nights and just be like,
yeah,
one
so
day,
like
one
my
day,
kids
right?
started asking like, you know, can we like, I would do all kinds of projects with them, but then it was like, oh, I'm going to paint a mural on their wall. So then I did that. And then
I'm going to paint a denim jacket.
yeah. And then
So
Lindsay is
cool.
like my twin sister. Obviously she was like, oh yeah, can you paint in, you know, even Rhett's room? So like, and then it slowly began that way. And
Yep.
again, never loved painting, but then I started, it was nice because it was challenging. I wasn't used to it. And
And when we're talking painting these bedrooms, I know you've done a mural for my boyfriend's business in
Yes.
the winter scene with
Yes.
the
Isn't like a
nutcracker.
little eggshell white on the wall? Be like,
Yeah,
looks
it
great.
wasn't.
Like,
No,
it's-
no.
I mean,
very
that's what the business is.
Yeah.
More designed to the joint business, but Crafted Tulip is really about unique, one of a kind, beautiful created spaces, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like not like, and that's what I loved about it because it wasn't like creating this like little piece of artwork. It was like, you know, you're challenged with creating
This huge
like,
canvas.
This huge canvas. Like
Yeah.
how do you translate this onto a big wall and stuff like that? And like the more I did it, the more people reached out and I was getting all kinds of different opportunities.
I love that.
But I still worked in corporate, so it didn't really jump off. Like I wasn't getting a ton of business, so I did have Crafted Tulip, but it wasn't like
Enough to sustain you financially the way you want.
yeah.
Okay.
And then so Adam wasn't in painting yet. At the time, he didn't take his leap of
What did
faith
you go to
yet.
school for?
Yeah, you guys met at the Art Institute.
I just
right?
I just
No?
finished high school and then we went to college for a little bit and then it wasn't for me and then just
enough.
hopped into workforce.
Okay.
Cool.
So
Interesting.
Okay.
yeah,
So when was Holden's painting born?
I was born July of
2019.
2019.
2019.
So cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Right
When
before
was
the
Crafted
pandemic.
Tulip born?
Same time we get
About the same
LLC.
time.
okay,
yeah.
cool.
Got 'em both.
When I finally took it serious. Well, I mean, I was always doing it, but it was
Yeah.
like doing it as favors, you know.
Marketable.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure,
So
I'll
to
paint for
do
you.
that full time, that means there must have been some sort of a passion, or was it Liza pushing you to say, "Hey, I really want to do this"? You
No,
should also,
no.
like,
no.
you
He-
have.
he
No,
had-
it was. I think I was 18. We went to Mexico and went down to Senior Frogs. And ever since that, I'm like, oh, I want to own like a business, a bar, a hotel. I want to own something.
Yeah.
I want to be a business owner of some nature. But
That's
then
awesome.
went back to go to school at TC for a little bit and just it wasn't it. So then I
Yeah.
hopped into went to a warehouse for 12 and a half years. And
Okay.
But before that,
before I
he
painted
was
for
a
like
painter.
6 years before.
Oh, you
that.
okay? I was
Yeah.
like, this
Okay.
is painting is kind of like you either
There's
got it or
and
you
yeah.
don't type of thing.
You
Yeah.
paint like residential homes.
Yeah.
Like I could hire you to paint the interior
Yes.
of my,
Yeah.
and then so
Yep.
it works really cool because then you do like the base and then you bring
Yeah.
in like
Yep.
that.
Yeah, so I'm like her biggest supporter because I'm like, oh, my wife does this, she does
Yeah.
murals, wallpaper,
Yeah.
like all this
Yeah.
like cool stuff. So I mean, I'm actually, I'm getting business, but then I'm also
You're referring
Yeah.
off and
Referring
it's staying
her
in
to
the
do
family,
stuff,
which
so-
is
And then
even
you
better,
guys get
right?
to work alongside each
Yeah.
other at times
Yeah.
too, which is
That's
amazing.
keeping it in house.
So like 90% of the time we're doing his business, which it is. It's actually commercial and residential.
Very
We get
cool.
a lot of commercial jobs too. We actually
That's amazing.
painted at the Legacy
I was just
Hotel.
gonna say.
Yeah, you told me that.
The best
Gather,
spot for
Saranac,
selfies.
like we
Absolutely
we've
stunning.
Done a
Did you
lot
do the
of-
bathroom?
Yeah, I did all of them.
bathrooms.
Yeah.
I know.
Incredible.
Right?
I'm deceased.
I think I told
I'm
you
gone.
this.
I'm dead.
I think I told you this.
Because
I'm like, she's the
oh
one
yeah,
that
you did
the Legacy Hotel.
You did tell me that
Yeah.
because I was in there shooting photos for a real estate company.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, do you think it's weird if we go into the bathroom of Legacy Hotel because of how beautiful
The first
the
or
painting
sixth?
is?
No,
the
I
first
love it.
floor.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Well, actually, we did both.
Yeah.
We did the first and the sixth floor
incredible.
by
So if
the
you need
by the
headshots, go to the bathroom at
Yeah.
the
Right,
Legacy
right.
Hotel.
Mini sessions in the bathroom at
absolutely
Legacy.
stellar work.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely
So
stunning.
So sweet.
I want to know the process. Like, let's say I had like a bedroom for my son that I wanted to do. Like, what's your process, I guess, of like
For
how you
murals?
Yeah, literally. Like, what's your process of taking on a new client that is looking like they don't really know what they want, but they really like want you to do work for them? I don't know. Like,
well,
or
How
are
do you
you
help
just
people
like, do you
find
meet
what
with
they
them?
wanna do?
Exactly. Like, do you meet with them? Do you have like a form that they fill? I don't know. I just want to know your process.
A lot of the times it's coming from Adam because
Okay.
like he's like usually like going to meet with his clients
Yeah,
or
doing
whatever,
estimates and all
doing
stuff.
estimates, and then he like brags on me. It's so embarrassing.
That's so cute.
sometimes.
No,
No,
that's
it's
absolutely,
not.
that's not
But
embarrassing.
everyone
That's
should
amazing.
should brag on their wife.
sweet.
That's
100%.
amazing.
And then I get a lot of people that like reach out then that way, or they're looking for color consultations and all that
Yeah.
stuff. But usually if somebody does reach out for a mural, it's like they tell me like what they want.
Okay.
Or they give you like a themed idea.
Yeah,
And then
they'll-
you
they'll-
run
Here's
with
my
it.
Pinterest board.
I was gonna say,
Yeah. Sure,
they'll give
okay,
me
yeah.
Figure it
a
out.
picture, and then I'll be like, what colors are you into, or like
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
Just
So,
like general conversation, but really
Yeah.
working off of each other. That's so cool.
And then
I
I'll
just-
tend to like do like a sketch or something for them.
I
So
love
then-
that.
I just wish that they'd actually give her like free reign, because it's like, oh, I want a rainbow, or I
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
a very
Yeah.
specific type of
Yeah,
rainbow
where
that they
it's-
saw in their
yeah.
head, right? So
Yeah.
they're trying
Let's
to-
Let her
chat. I have some
creativeness
rooms
just
I
get
have
going.
to-
Yes.
Yes.
Because
So
you're
cool.
probably stunted a little bit when people give you a lot of direction,
Yeah.
right? You don't get to use your creative brain. So it's
Exactly.
probably easier for you to say, okay, here's a wall. Here's the colors I like. What would you do with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always fascinated by people that my middle son is 5 and he is getting very good at drawing, but he's got that creative touch, right? Which is phenomenal. And like, I always talk about this as a photographer and videographer. I'm like, I can create something that I can physically see, but like, if you hand me a piece of paper and say, draw this, I'll be like, I can't. Like my brain can't see that. I can see the photo, I can see the video, I can see all of that, like play through my head before I do it. But to look at a blank canvas and just like, yep, this is going to be, a tree and there's going to be somebody there and this and that. Like my brain doesn't work that way. When you look at a blank wall, is it like, is it like almost that like beautiful mind, right? Where like things are like, kind of
Oh my
floating
gosh,
and you
I
see it and you're
wish-
like, aha, this is
I
it.
wish it was like that.
Okay.
I'm very similar to you, but I used to be able to do that a lot more, but I
Okay.
feel like I tell this to my husband all the time. So we're trying to like kind of separate a little bit so that my business can grow
Sure.
a little bit, because the problem is when we're in the commercial side of things or residential side of things of just basic painting, I'm not
That's
in
what your
that
brain sees
creative.
all the time,
Yeah,
right?
I'm not in
Right.
this
You can do it,
creative.
but it's not-
So as
Right.
a creative, you get a little stunted because you're not like
Yeah.
fully immersed in it. And when I'm actually creating, I'm just like, oh my gosh, all these ideas are coming to me. And like, then you totally
Yes.
like can create all these beautiful things like you were saying, but
Sure.
it does get a
I'm
little.
always fascinated, but especially for art, right? Because I feel like I've seen people that are like, yeah, I can look at something and like I can draw the whole thing or paint the whole thing in my mind before I'm like, I don't, it's just a white wall. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
They're like, no,
Yeah.
no, and then this, and then it's going to go there. I'm like, oh, wow, okay, great.
It's
Like,
funny, but I mean, like if somebody hands me a picture, I'm just like, yeah, I can paint that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I could paint it pretty much.
Right.
You can do anything.
Yeah,
But it's not creative.
But
for
when
you.
I want to do like an original, it takes a lot.
Where do you draw that
longer.
inspiration?
Well, sometimes a lot of the times nature. I'm like, I love nature.
Adam's
right?
like,
You love
Florals, botanicals, like
Yeah.
I mean, wildlife. We travel a lot, so like I don't know. I feel like a little bit more at peace and
Sure.
comfortable, and like I think you see the different color combinations, like what works together and stuff like that. I mean, obviously there's Pinterest and social media, all that stuff. It's
Yeah.
cool to see what other people are creating that you might not think of, but I get sucked into it a little bit with the social media, so I try to like get away from that, because otherwise you're kind of
Being people.
yeah, like
And
you
it can also stunt your creative
Yeah.
process as
I
well.
know,
because then
like-
you're
too
just,
much,
it's
yeah.
almost an overwhelm, I feel.
Yeah.
It's the same with all type of like creating on social media, I feel sometimes.
It is. It's a gift and a curse, right?
Yeah, yeah.
There's so much of what you can do, and then you watch too much of it, and you're like, well, now they're all better than me, so I suck. And you're like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
That wasn't the purpose
the
of what I was trying
comparison.
to do.
Yeah.
Correct.
Comparison
Yeah.
curse, right?
I
Exactly.
know watching her, it's just amazing how she can take like a 12-inch photo and put it on, say, like a window or a wall and have it
Yeah.
be 6 feet wide. and
Yep.
every single dimension and length is
Perfect.
perfect as
Yeah.
a sketch.
And you
Incredible.
freehand that.
yes.
Wow.
Yeah, everything's freehand. Everyone, a lot of people ask me, they're just like, oh yeah.
You
so
stencil it.
Do you stencil? Do you project it? Like, no,
Yeah.
I freehand everything. So,
So do
I
you
genuinely
draw it?
thought the legacy was wallpaper until I got up close to it.
No, I swear I told you.
Allie still isn't recovered from this.
I'm never
She's
going to be over
unwell.
it. I'm going to lose sleep about it.
Free advertising for the Legacy Hotel on
I love
today's
it.
podcast.
Yeah,
They should be our
still
sponsor.
there. We're
Yes,
still painting
sign
there,
us up.
actually.
You're still painting
Yeah.
now.
We're doing all the hallways now.
I was gonna say,
Because
do they have you in the rooms?
because it's a talking point of the city.
Yeah.
I wallpapered the bathroom.
Okay.
So I also wallpaper as well.
Which is not an easy task.
I want to
It's
be your
not.
friend.
This holiday, BMW has reunited 3 members of the family at the BMW Road Home Sales event. The Agile X3, engineered for any adventure. The plug-in hybrid X5, commanding the streets with unmatched presence. And the all-electric i4, charging into the future with impeccable performance. Hurry in to find what powers your journey at the BMW Road Home Sales event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Visit the Valley BMW Center today for attractive lease and finance offers.
Heads up, folks. Interest rates are falling. But as of September 23rd, 2024, you can still lock in a 6% or higher yield with a bond account at public.com. That's a pretty big deal, because when rates drop, so can the interest you earn on your cash. A bond account allows you to lock in a 6% or higher yield with a diversified portfolio of high yield and investment grade corporate bonds. So while other people are watching their returns shrink, you can sit back with regular interest payments. But you might want to act fast, because your yield is not locked in until you invest. The good news? It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up at public.com. Lock in a 6% or higher yield with a bond account, only at public.com. Brought to you by Public Investing, member FINRA and SIPC. Yield to worst is not guaranteed. Not an investment recommendation. All investing involves risk. Visit public.com/disclosures for more info.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
right? Like, can we
I just want to
It's
hang
not,
out with
but
you.
you know what? I love it because I'm like, it's something creative. Like, it's not
Literally.
just painting.
Right.
And you, as an artist, you see the vision come together. So you're probably somebody that can stand in a
Yeah.
plain room and see like what could be.
Yeah.
Like,
you know,
what do you think
happening
she'd
there.
do with this
Yeah.
space if she got her hands on it? This is a beautiful space, by the way.
Free range.
Gorgeous.
But like,
you want?
there's
So
some
she's been looking around the whole interview. She's like, all
Yeah.
right, I would do this.
What
I
can
would
we do
change
with
that.
this vintage looking space?
I actually love vintage stuff, vintage antique stuff, but I also
whole
love a
storage
lot
unit.
of color.
Well, and you also have made some incredible fashion pieces.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? So the art doesn't stop with the painting.
No.
So cool.
Yeah, I've seen you literally take apart like 4 garments and create like a dress that I'm like, for sure that would look like I threw a dish towel over my shoulder, and she makes it look like $1 million.
Oh yeah.
You're so sweet.
it's-
No, it's a gift you have. It really is a
Yeah.
gift that you have, and you can see these things that the average person probably can't.
And one of the best things is that you're not capped when you're an artist.
No.
You have a talent, and it's something that you don't have to stop at a certain thing. You can be successful in so many areas.
Yep.
And to be able to pour your heart into that is so cool. And to have such a huge support system from your husband and vice versa, like she supports you, and the way you guys talk about each other and everything, like that's such a cool dynamic to have.
You never
I want to
fight,
know
right?
too, like, cause you both
Never.
are,
Not at all.
obviously this is all you guys do,
Yep.
right?
Yeah,
so
this
not
is all.
all you guys do, but this is, you
This
guys
is
are
your
both
100%.
entrepreneurs.
Yep.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about like the dynamic with family, and like, are you guys all both like always working? Do you take intentional time
Yeah.
off throughout the week to spend time with your
There
family?
wasn't a
Are you,
hesitation, like,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we do work a lot.
A lot.
But then we also play a lot because the beautiful thing about being an entrepreneur, especially like, any entrepreneur, I feel is like you can kind of choose when you want to like
Totally.
take a vacation or, you have that flexible time. Whereas like when I was working in corporate, I could either only pick up my kids or drop them off. Like you had to kind of like, okay, are you going to take them to the doctor or not? Like,
Right.
and then your vacations are like limited. Like, we are lucky enough that we can take like 3 weeks long vacations, road tripping, and then you
That's amazing.
kind of build back that like,
Totally.
that you're missing out on. But the nice thing is we're always together. That's what I love about our business because we get to work together all the time. Our
That's
kids,
so cool.
Our kids get to see that. Like it's a really like unique thing. I think that not a lot of people do. Like they're just like, I could never work with my wife or husband or
I've heard
whatever.
that a lot.
I adore my boyfriend, but I will never work with him.
Yeah, it does take a lot because you kind of have to be like,
That's shared
okay,
passion,
this is,
right? Like that's-
I love you, but like, you need to be
That's
a little
the
bit
wrong
more
color. No.
organized or
Right.
like
Sure.
don't say that to the customer or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, you know that is coming from love. And but we kind of have that little bit of separation where it's like, okay, this is business. This is.
And I'm sure you had those moments early on, right? As you're feeling everything out in the business and trying to say, oh, like, oh, maybe you shouldn't do that. But you've been doing this now for a while and you feel like you've got a system in place and you're like, great, this is what I do. This is what he does. This is where we go together.
Yep.
And we go to a client and boom, right? Here's the great product.
Even being 5 years in, there's things still that are just like,
that we're working on.
Like
so
which is good.
It's like a struggle,
right?
but it's from where we started to where we are now. Like I literally got a sprayer from Lindsay's husband. He's like, here, take it. And then leftover stuff from my old boss.
That was how you started?
And it was crazy because it was right before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So we're just like,
how do we go into people's houses and paint?
We had built a house and then we were like sold it, and we're like, because he's like, I want to start my painting business, and I was a little jealous because I'm like, no, because I want to start my business, and I didn't quit at the time. It was later that during 2020 I did. But because he just got so busy, but we're like literally sold our house, like thankfully, and we're like, okay, we started this.
When we talked about
started this business, and now everything's shut down.
So you hang on, back up. You built a house.
Yep,
sold the house so you could invest into your businesses.
What's the purpose of building the house?
Well, we were actually
we built it in 2016, and that was gonna be our forever house. But then we just kind of like, this is not us. The neighborhood was this.
It was one of those and we're just like, we had friends that lived in Arizona. His brother lived in Arizona. So we were actually contemplating moving. And
then your sister would have had to move.
I know. And Lindsay she was not happy.
She wasn't on board with it?
She wasn't. So, but we're like, and he really wanted to do a business, and we are actually looking into possibly doing rentals and all that stuff. So, but he started his business and it just took off, which we are so fortunate because we're like, oh gosh, did we make a huge mistake?
I left my job in October 2019. I'm like, I'm done. We're going to see how it goes and just, and I'm like, all of a sudden COVID started and I thought it was just a joke at first.
We all did.
The coronavirus, I'm like, whatever.
You want me to do a Zoom what now?
The other thing is like, I feel like I hear this a lot with businesses because there were so many businesses that failed from the pandemic. And then you see this birth of a million businesses that are so successful because they got in the world of social media, they took it on, they didn't stop, they didn't let anything defeat them, you being one of the businesses, both of you guys being able to rise above and change with the times and even just start fresh with how everything was kind of going virtual for a while. But so were you going into people's homes during the pandemic?
Yeah, I was still doing estimates and all that stuff.
And it was like, you just put a mask on?
No, there was only one house.
Great, that made you do that?
For the first day.
I love that.
And after that, they were like, you can't breathe. I'm struggling.
Wow.
And let's be honest. You guys know what I do, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of businesses that I was a part of failed. Like a lot of stroll magazines didn't make it in COVID. But if you focused on businesses like yours that were going into people's homes to make them better since they were going to be trapped in them for an indefinite amount of time.
Breathing life into that home.
You guys got to go in and do something that brought people love in their own home, because a lot of people don't do it because it takes time. It's inconvenient. I don't want to shut my kitchen down for 3 days. Right? So you capitalized.
Literally every room in my house right now is white because I don't even want to look at them. I don't want to have to design it.
I know.
So I relate to that.
Now you have a new bestie. Right. They're sitting right here. So good kudos for you guys. What has been in your business? Do you guys have your own lane? Do you do the marketing and you do the calling and you do the social media?
Or whatever it might be, obviously.
We do have,
or do you mix it both?
Like for the most part, Adam does like the estimates. Even like for mine, I'm just like, oh, how do you do that? Because he's just like, he's so quick at it and just like can nail it down really easily.
Because that's a hard thing too.
It is.
Like, you don't know how much time it's going to take.
But then there's even times too. It's like, like I went to do an estimate for the KI Convention Center, and Lindsay's husband Brandon is the owner of IEI. I'm like, dude, is there anything I'm supposed to know? Because I've never bid out like an 80,000 square foot.
Yeah, how do you?
Right.
Jeez.
Any commercial
put a
terms
number
I'm supposed
to that.
to know? Like, what am I supposed to do? So it was like I talked to him like, I felt kind of stupid asking you for advice, but he's like, don't. Like, how are you going to get any better if you're not willing to take advice from anybody?
Always ask for help.
Absolutely.
Right. So
that's a good tip.
That's a great tip.
I mean,
so like,
I'll tell the kids, ask questions, because once you stop learning, it's like, then what's the point of doing stuff?
Right. 100%.
Right.
Yeah. So then like besides estimates, like he does the majority of like spray work. So like I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but like spraying out walls and stuff like that, especially like new construction, like we'll go in and spray like stuff. We do trim, windows, doors, like all that stuff.
Do you help with that stuff?
I do.
Yeah.
I know how to spray, but like he's just better at it.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
like when we have to knock out big areas, then I'll
And am I
I'll
correct?
help.
Cabinets, fireplaces, all of that.
Yep.
All of the things that nobody should ever paint themselves.
I always tell people we literally can paint anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
From
Even a jean jacket.
Even a jean
She's
jacket.
got the cutest
like
jean jacket.
I paint my purse, like everything. Like I paint everything, literally.
Really love that.
And it's always
So-
like, oh, we're gonna do this. I'm like,
Okay. And like, just trust me.
Yes, dear.
Yeah.
So cool.
But yeah, and then I like obviously help with a lot of like the prep work, making sure like, which he hates a lot of the times, like afterwards, I'm just like, I'm a perfectionist. So I'm like always like looking, okay, like we have to repaint this wall or clean up here or whatever. So like I tend to take on more of that
The
aspect.
detail work.
The detail, and then also like creative stuff. So like if customers have color questions, then I'll do that, or like wallpaper. Like I do like most of the creative stuff. And
you guys are the dream team.
I love it.
And they do the cutest videos together when you have time to do them. We talked a little bit about that. Like there's so many cute videos of you guys actually like on the job painting together. You've done a great job with that, but it's hard to balance it all.
Yes. Oh, it is.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And getting them all done. But I think you should do more of that because it's actually
Sign
kind of
us up.
fun
Sign
to
us up.
watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. I love that.
And making painting fun behind the scenes.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No. Take two.
One thing I was going to say fast before we have to wrap up is that we're really big on manifesting and goal setting on the show. We've talked about it. We've talked about our scary goals, our puke goals, whatever that might be. I always love asking business owners, what is that thing that you haven't painted yet, or that job that you're like, man, if we could do this, and sometimes if we're in Green Bay, sometimes it has a Packer, flair to it. Sometimes it doesn't. We want to be flown to Los Angeles and do this, whatever it is. Have you had that discussion? Do you have that thing that you're like?
We've already painted in Florida already. For some friends, but I mean,
but what is that? You have that big, or that client, that big thing that you're like, oh my gosh,
So
this would
like
be so fun. If
one of the things that I have talked about and actually invested in, like I'm hoping to get there, but I actually want to be a surface designer. I don't know if
What is that?
anybody
I don't know
knows.
what that is.
So like basically you take your artwork and you can create like patterns, which can create fabric, wallpaper. So having my own collection.
Wow, so almost like
Like your
this.
own line of wallpaper.
Yes.
Interesting.
So, and you
obsessed with that
basically
idea.
sell your like rights to like, Target or
and then
whatever.
TJ Maxx or whatever. Yeah.
You'd be right next to Joanna Gaines.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's actually what I've been
That would
like.
be so
Well, it's by
cool.
Christ
I'm
of
taking a
Captain Tulip.
course in that and like
Liza Holden,
learning
come on.
how to do all that stuff. So
amazing.
that's
That's your dream.
my big goal is
Yeah.
because like sometimes like what I don't like about like artwork is a lot of times you sell off your piece and then it's like
You never see it
you
again.
never see it again. So I'm like, this way it can live on and other people can enjoy it and all that stuff. So
And then the beauty of social media is you can see what people are using it for inside their homes and how they're styling it, and to have a piece of like your artwork live on forever is so
I
cool.
love that.
I mean,
what about
it's
you,
almost-
Adam?
it's
Do you
a-
have?
me, I haven't one job
He's
at
like,
a time.
whatever comes my way.
There's not. Is there everything? You've probably driven by something and be like, I want to paint that.
No, there's not really a place where it really jumps out like, it'd be cool to paint that place.
Okay. That's okay.
Because just knowing the amount of work that I'd go into that. So I mean,
I'm
just
still working on the
You're like
Yeah.
that logical brain.
Yeah,
like
correct.
that.
Like
And that's
a
okay.
job's
And
a
that's how you
job.
balance each other
yeah,
well.
I mean, there's nothing really where, oh man, it'd be super cool to paint that place because it's
We've done a
it's just
lot of
painting in
different-
the-
Maybe
in
you
the
will. Right?
end.
Consistency over time. You never know.
Yeah.
And maybe you don't know what your goal is until someone's like, hey, would you do this? And you're like, oh wow.
Yeah, 'cause for me, I'm like, I'm just painting 4 walls.
Yeah.
There is-
Isn't
It's
that
not
funny? It
nothing
kind of
cool,
like,
wallpaper or murals.
yeah, brings
But
it
it
down a little
could
bit.
Yeah.
lead to something too, or like if you got a really cool job. I don't know, have you already painted inside Lambeau Field or something like that? Or
No.
No,
like how
we
cool would
have
it be,
not.
right? Like if you
That'd be
get
cool.
that job and then
Yeah.
it would
That'd be
lead to her being able to do something.
Yeah.
Some cool mural.
Yeah.
Like on the
Yeah.
fences.
I know.
They need a little bit more
need
inside
some
of
love.
Lambeau. They need
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
So
I'm
hopefully
always
someone
pushing-
listens
pushing
to
her.
it.
I'm like, go get her. My wife does this. Wife does this.
Totally.
This, and
And
The
it's
biggest hype
connection
man.
too.
Oh, yeah.
We all, yeah,
We all need Adam as a hype man.
Yeah, yeah, we
Right?
so do.
Yeah.
Hire out
so
Adam
do.
for your
New
hype man
job.
service.
yeah,
Right?
quit
Yeah.
painting.
Yeah.
I'll be a hype man, honey.
Yeah.
I love that you guys have come on real quick. Give everybody a plug one more time on both the businesses, how they find you, how they reach out to you, where they can see some of your work. give yourself a little plug.
Okay, so you can find me on Crafted Tulip, Liza Lewis. So on Instagram.
Liza Lewis? Liza Holden?
Liza Holden. Oh my God.
That's my 18 years.
That's
Regressing
my
here.
name. Sorry.
It's now a relationship
maiden
We're not
podcast.
editing
I'm
that
sorry.
out. Yes.
Oh, you're good.
So you can find me on Facebook, Instagram. I do have a TikTok, but I'm slowly working on that. So, but those, yeah.
So Crafted Tulip for you.
Yeah, and Holden's Painting, co.com. Holden's Painting, TikTok. I don't know what the whole URL is.
Yeah.
And then Facebook as well.
Okay.
So
You want to see what, we've talked about, we've taken this behind the mic instead of on the video. So if you want to see the beautiful faces behind these businesses, go check them out.
Yeah.
As always, thank you for listening to the Real Chat podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. And
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend, tag a friend, share it with a friend.
Yes.
And we'll be airing this one soon. So be sure to listen and catch us next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Whatever the adventure, there's a BMW engineered to take it on. The X3 delivers a striking design with agile performance. The 100% electric i4 packed with pure electric energy. Or the plug-in hybrid X5, an impressive, versatile SUV granting full control on every journey. Choose what powers your next adventure during the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Hurry in for exceptional offers through January 2nd. Visit bmwusa.com for details.
Heads up, folks. Interest rates are falling. But as of September 23rd, 2024, you can still lock in a 6% or higher yield with a bond account at public.com. That's a pretty big deal, because when rates drop, so can the interest you earn on your cash. A bond account allows you to lock in a 6% or higher yield with a diversified portfolio of high yield and investment grade corporate bonds. So while other people are watching their returns shrink, you can sit back with regular interest payments. But you might want to act fast, because your yield is not locked in until you invest. The good news? It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up at public.com. Lock in a 6% or higher yield with a bond account, only at public.com. Brought to you by Public Investing, member FINRA and SIPC. Yield to worst is not guaranteed. Not an investment recommendation. All investing involves risk. Visit public.com/disclosures for more info.